Welcome, welcome. Hopefully somebody's out there. It's Saturday. It's Pauper Day. Nim Chimpskey, thank you for chiming in. All right, we're going to be playing some Rakdos Burn. I realize I've never played this on a stream before, so we're going to give this a go. This is my version of it. We got 20 lands, 4 bridges, 4 furnaces, 3 mountains, 2 carnariums, 3 swamps, and 4 vaults. I think I run one more swamp than most people, mostly because of my sideboard. I just don't like to get too marooned on my mana choices there. Ayokara's in the house. Thank you so much. And Nim Chimpskey with the deck list right there. So yeah, let me, my headphones got twisted in a knot. Just a second. Sorry about this. Anyway, so yeah, this is the deck that I can't seem to beat when I'm playing my solo Blackburn with Rakdos Carnariums just for bump in the night with my other black builds. So been having a lot of fun and success with this build. So it's got 2 chain lightnings. I know I saw Cooper the Red play something with very similar with Swift Spears, and I tried versions of that out too. I just like this one a wee bit better. Just gets there a little bit more often. So 1 Bump of the Night, 2 Chains, 4 Lootings, which are really double duty in this list of madness, 4 Galvanic Blast, 4 Lightning Bolts. The damage just keeps coming, folks. 4 Epicures, 4 Kitchen Imps, 4 Alms, 4 Fiery Tempers, 1 Fodder Tosser main, 4 Kisses, and 4 Disputes. In our sideboard, we've got 3 Spell Bombs, all 4 Trespasser's Curse. I love this card. It's probably my favorite sideboarding card, period. I just love it. It just hoses so much. We got 4 Edicts, 2 Chainers, and 2 Psychotic Haze. Obviously, Electricity is an option, but most of the time, being that most of our deck, probably 70% of it is red, there's a thing called Hydroblast, so I don't like to run into that. So, and who doesn't like this ghouly looking dude here? So without further ado, we're just going to jump on in and see how this plays. I've been playing it quite a bit this week, having a lot of fun with it and such. A little warning, today's show will have a more of a darker theme, just because, meaning my commercials. If you saw the top of the show, we did the Rakdos Carnarium commercial, which is kind of like this evil circus where your kids never come out. And then we've got our horror movie spoof a little bit later. So if you're for the faint of heart, this isn't the show for you. Not that there's that much blood. It's all super fake and stuff. But I try to not show that one too much without wee bit disclaimers there. Oh, boy. We've got a whole lot of burn and not much else going on. Little fights in the house. Holy crap. Good to see you, my friend. What a nice surprise. We're going to mulligan this. And we'll keep this one. And, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I really don't want to hiccup on my lands. But we do have a Faithless Looting for a reason. So we'll throw back a vault and go from there. Yeah. All right, here we go. Little fight in the house. Let's see what we're up against. And if we see an early Delver, we might just have to blast it, which I think is going to be what we do. Here we are, here we are. Bloop. And blast away. Let's hope there's no mutagenic in our way. There is not. I've never liked that new Delver artwork, so. Murphy says, Psychotic Haze, bring back Torment, Faceless Butcher, and all the nightmares. Oh, yeah. Hoo-ah. Yeah, so many new cards for a little fight to see. I don't know if you've been on MTGO lately, buddy. There has been a whole bunch of stuff. It's a whole different metagame now. There's a lot of bannings since I think you last played. There's lots of goodies. All right. Let's find some madness or another land, and we'll be good to go. We'll do this. We'll drop the Epicure here. And I'd say we do this now. Might as well get in for a little bit of 3 here. Throw that in our yard. Only the 1 copy there. Pedro struck. I have Golgari full of cool creatures. Suffer from flyers. Like bully. Should I invest in suffocating spumes? I wouldn't go with the spider route. No. I would honestly just go with Crypt Rat. Life is another option too. Knot of the Bone's a really good thing for that kind of style. All right, ponders up. And we got to hit him with the emojis of his visage, right? Those should be hanging around somewhere. Yeah, the Fodder Tosser has been... I've even experimented with a build that ran 4 of those and Dark Ritual and such. It's really a lot of fun. Oh, boy. This is... let's attack first. I mean... I want to loot and I want to dispute. I don't want this to get countered, but I think I'm just going to have to kill the Epicure after the attack. I want to keep this for our discard outlet if we don't hit a land. I'm not too wild about 1 damage, so I'm just going to risk it, and hopefully we draw into some resources here. We're kind of hurting for lands. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. That one hurts. We're really looking back to the future and wondering, why did we toss that other vault or put it back for our mulligan? We'd be in Fodder Tosser country. Tried to spell in that. Modern Age. Oh, is this Turbo Fog with Modern Age, or I'm not sure what we're up against. Any plans what you're going to play in the Brewfest? Oh, for me, I'm not. Yeah, the Brewfest is 1 week from today. If you saw the top of the show, that flyer is up and the website is ready for you to submit. I'm still not quite sure because I have to work that weekend, and I'm pretty sure that might get in the way. So it'll be kind of a day of sort of a decision. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, darn it. I really want to hit something here. We're not in any sort of duress right now, but that looting's looking really good, except we can't really get any value out of it. You know what? Let me pitch this now. If he's got another instant kill spell, that's going to be a bummer, isn't it? Let's just develop here. Eat 2 life. We really need to hit a land here. Yeah, I've been a super big fan in my burn list of Okiba Rekner Raid. I just love that card, and I've been thinking of maybe trying out a version of this where it leans a little more on black. It's tough to beat all the damage this thing can deal, though. But see, we're having a really tough game, and our opponent's at 13 already. We've had some stuff countered. I'm still not quite sure what they're on. Looks pretty cool, though. Land, please. Thank God. My lordy. Alrighty, there's what we were hoping for. We'll probably EOT Fiery Temper off a blood token and see what we can see. I was going to do that main if we didn't drop a land, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, it's a big undertaking, that big tournament next weekend. So all the luck to them. I like to see all these lightning bolts hitting the yard. Let's do this now. Discarding Fiery Temper. At least we're drawing a card even if it gets countered. We will say you to you to you. If we were in trouble, we could nuke the Vector Glider, but there's another one right behind it. Hopefully I'm a little worried about that forest, meaning weather the storm sort of territory. Then we'll be up against it. More resources coming our way. We draw Voldaren Epicure, another good bald card in Pauper. You could argue that the Vector Glider is bald. Doesn't have hair, right? Good times. Hey, those aren't bald. Hooting Mandrills. Boy, what a cool list. Well, our haste dudes aren't going to do too much, so I got to keep in mind that Vector Glider is a darn good target for that. Speaking of that, I think we're just going to set up this turn. Yeah, I could. We're not going to get too much value there, so I'm just going to bring out Fodder Tosser. Pass. So nasty with Alms the Vein, does 5 damage. All right. Delver. That's gonna. We're up against it now. If he finds a way of gaining life, hopefully that's just there for hooting mandrills and critters. But right now, we need double removal. Our Kitchen Imp might actually play just defense here in this scenario. Land, please. Just some basics. Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, yeah, we're just going to loot here. Hopefully we don't run into counter magic. Alrighty. We do, but that's all right. Now, our Imp's not going to get in, but this will. We'll do this, discarding this. Since we're up against counter magic. I'm doing this like main. Even though it says sorcery, madness comes off as an instant for those of you that are not in the know. This will gain us 3 life back. We'll do that. Rock like this. Booyah. And that's 1 damage. We've got so much more. Bumping the knight's pretty far to reach there. Yeah, I guess the 1 damage is worth it. We might draw Deadly Dispute. We can kill the Epicure that way. A lot of counter magic here. Fodder Tosser is going to be doing a lot of work. I'll probably toss out the Kitchen Imp and not even attack if he holds back one of those Vector Gliders. Obviously, I will attack if it goes the other way, but we shall see. Do I have a favorite card art? Says Murphy Black. Boy, that's a... Man, that is a tough one. Off memory, there's a lot of Simic cards that really catch my eye. There's... what's that? The Growth Spiral. There's some alternate art there that I've seen that I really like. I love a lot of... It'd probably have to be by that artist Seb McKinnon, I think. He has a very distinct style. Not many Pauper cards, but I wish my son Aaron was right in the room, because he's an encyclopedia. He would know exactly which one it is. But it's a black card, and yeah, he has some amazing art. There's a Plains that I really like that Therese Nielsen has done, but it's not available online. I've got them in real life. I actually special ordered them. I was like, what's this? Well, I think we can just win here with the Fodder Tosser combo. He's probably holding back on like a Dispel, maybe. I'm so glad that the forests are tapped, and that's a wild and not just a basic. All right, let's see what we can get there. Well, that'll do it too, but we might as well see if we can just get there. So Fodder Tosser does 2. We discard this with Madness, paying for the Imp. So I just love Fodder Tosser. There we go. Close one. Our deck really fought us there. A lot of critters. I'm not quite sure if Curse is worthy of this spot, though. I tend to kind of keep those for a little bit. He's got more quality than anything else, so I'm gonna bring in 3 Edicts here. Bring in. We saw Dispel, so I'm gonna lean on Chainers in one of these, and I think we'll just call it at that. See how we do. Seb McKinnon. Yeah. I wish. Yeah, I think it's a black removal spell. I think it might be a rare, but there's quite a few of those. You know, a lot of them have been turned into play mats and stuff. I'll tell you what I hate is the alternate Faithless Looting, where it looks just like some, I don't know, reject from some Mad Max movie. I can't stand that. Oh, God. Yeah, it's really been upgraded. This build is definitely tier 1-ish. It can thrash. And when I run up, that's why if you follow on my social link on YouTube, I went on full tilt. I was like last weekend or something. It was like running low on tickets, enter a league with my black deck, looking at the metagame stuff. All I faced, because the Rakdos Burn is actually one of the worst matchups against my black one, and it's so frustrating because I always get into like 2 or 3, but it's the numbers don't lie. It's always doesn't get there because this deck gains just enough life. Mine gains a lot of life too, but this one deals out damage a little more efficiently. But yet there's decks that the black one can beat that this one can't, and so in other words, I'm really close to that, and I'm kind of married to it, but you can't deny the power level on this one. All right, we gotta ship this one back. Sometimes bad hands are nice. It's just so obvious what you got to do. So we'll mulligan this. Boop. Oh my God. It doesn't want the day to be easy, does it? See, Little Fight, you're gone all that time and nothing's changed. They still draw real bad when I do live shows. Yoda Frog. Hey, what a cool... Yoato Frog. Mulligan again. Cool name. We're kind of forced to keep this with a double mole. Could get rid of 1 Dispute. And probably a Blast. Yeah, this is frustrating. We're going to have to like loot and just probably throw stuff out that we don't want to with no synergy with this hand. Tortured Existence, interesting call. I think it would just slow the deck down personally, but I'm very happy to be wrong. That has Shroud. Oh man, I like our whole hand. I think we wait on this. Just in case maybe we draw a Carnarium next and we can wiggle out of this, or we'll have more options to discard. Maybe if we do find a basic, we can at least Fiery Temper their face. Rakdos Burn. But yeah, Little Fight, this is the best black card in Pauper right now. This thing's amazing. Everybody's playing it for very good reason. All right, that Delver's going to meet with the Sky of Fate. Crack. I hate when I auto-load a list and it puts the newer lightning bolts in. I'm like, come on, give me the old school. All right. Hey, somebody knows what they're talking about. Look at this. I'm looting. And now I'm brooding. I'm not going to be using this anytime soon. I hate getting rid of it. I'm going to play Discipline Magic here. Our mana's going to be right now. We lost quite a bit of power to our yard. And our disputes are gone, but there's nothing to dispute right now. Those are just going to sit dead in our hand for like 4 or 5 more turns. As it sits now, I've got decent removal against a list that I know is running quite a few toys, and one of them being Dispel main. I think we saw 2 of those. So, oh, good. Goody, goody, goody. Okay. Well, this is interesting. We'll lead off with this. Might as well do this now before that thing gets too much bigger, right? I'd rather not take a bunch of little peck damage. Big fan of the Odyssey Shelter. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's there's some good-looking Magic cards of the female persuasion, Murphy Black. I know what you mean. She's my type too. Get it? A lot of Magic jokes there. There's actually, people don't say they play type 2 anymore. Big UFC fight tonight. I almost wasn't going to buy it, but then heard that Luke Rockhold was coming back, and I was like, oh boy, good times, good times. Yay. Tempted to loot here, but I think I'm just going to... So we could loot and, you know, pitch any of these, but then we have to pitch something else. We do get 2 cards out of the deal. Let's, let me loot here. Let's see what we get. I'm going to favor Alms here. Let's discard this. And I will want to keep these now and this. We lose some tempo here, but we do gain 3 life. It's fun playing stuff at instant speed when you know your opponent's got Dispel, and it's like, take that. So now we can stop with the madness. Wink, wink. Because we can drop... all right, sure, you. No. No. We can drop the Epicure, Deadly Dispute, either that or the token. Probably that, and then start playing some Magic. Good news is, we'll be at 20 life now that our deck's kind of stabilized. So this fights you a little bit. One thing I really like about my mono black burn list with very few critters is that, man, it's so consistent and gets out of the gates, and there's no hiccups like this. But the reward now is that, you know, we just, anything we draw is just fire to the face, and it's just the power level just goes off the chart now. Anyone know a board game called Robo Rally? Oh yeah, didn't the mastermind himself make that? The guy that made Magic, Richard Garfield? Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I don't like Deadly Disputes art. It's kind of weird. It's a little like dwarf lady, and I don't know. Kind of strange. I've spoke to Richard Garfield about 4 times on Facebook. He's oddly available. I mean, who am I, right? I think everybody has a tale of beating him at Magic. He's not a very good Magic player. All right, let's get a blocker out. Really tempted to pop this now with Deadly Dispute, seeing that our opponent has a lot of counter Magic. I don't know if... Got 4. You know what? Let me keep the Epicure out. I'm going to blast our land that's tapped. There's no blue here, so we'll draw 2 cards and get a token here. All right. Not bad. We can do this and pull like this, get some more life out of the deal, get our blood tokens online, and we are set. La Conquista! Propaganda. A lot of tournament. Talk about your tournament at the top of the show, my friend. We put your little flyer up. A week from today will be the Brewers' Delight. Little Fight, you might really like that. It's a tournament that's solely focused on creativity. So the metagame's changed a bit since you've been gone, but there's obviously 3 or 4 awesome cards in every color that you're almost forced to brew with because the format's so strong with, if you don't have them. But this tournament will be, thank you very much, Nim Chimpskey. Sorry I didn't get you that link earlier. I'm glad you have it. But anyway, that tournament right there in the link, there's a new ban list, and so it's really more about who comes with the coolest build, not these, right click download, tier 1 and 2 lists and stuff. So kind of open up your mind, and if your metagame feels a bit stultified to you, this is the tournament for you. Yeah, it's a normal ban list with 8 extra ones thrown on top of there. Stuff like Kiln Fiend and such. Yeah, Little Fight. Right now, boy, there's the burn lists and the Kiln Fiend lists are like top dog. They're even called hot dogs, as named by Nim Chimpskey, if I remember right. Oh, I love this. I could see doing that if you turn on Threshold, but there's still 1 away from it, and I love that didn't hit us in the face. All right. Boy, our opponent's mana is fighting them like ours did last game. We have quite a bit of extra damage in our graveyard that brought us to this state, but right now we're feeling okay, pretty balanced. Uh-oh. That could change quite quick. That's a strange synergy. Delve and Threshold, all in one. Okay, let's get our air power on board. We will discard an imp. Paying madness for it. Yeah. Pay 1. Okay. 1 for a 2/2 flying haste. I like that. Oh, and we get to draw a card. That's kind of unfair. Let's see here. Definitely want to pull this off. Go like this. Discarding. Calling black. Whoop. Discard this. Draw a card. Hit him for 3. And be just like this. Whack. All right. Attack. Whoa. Let's see here. I got 6, 7, 8 next turn. And that's 2, 4, 5. We're still 2 away from an edict being relevant, but our life is fine. So we'll be all right. Yeah, I like that second little round of like, yeah, you won, but who had the coolest idea? It's neat these days, In the old days, good luck making a tournament. God, you'd have to put up flyers and wait weeks and weeks and have a little trickle of people come in and stuff. But now, gosh, you get some of the software, you can just go for it. All right, double bolt. Not sure if it's worth. I mean, they're going to get countered regardless, probably, if they're representing a lot of counter magic. They've only got 2 cards, though. Hey, yeah, and we also cast a Vampire's Kiss right here. Whoop. That makes blood tokens. It's like super retrace. A lot of fun. Well, I want to get in with my Kitchen Imp, and I can't do that if this is in the way. So first things first, worst things last. Let's go. There it is. I really hate having to do this, but I'm going to try it. I want my guy to keep hitting, and it's 6 damage. One of those would have been countered anyway, so now it's only 3 damage that we're really truly fighting. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not blocking there. Let's pull this. Get 2 more life here. Bloop. As you can see. Uh-oh, paid 1 too many. Oh, well. That's okay. Things like Red Elemental Blast, Dispel. This thing gets around a lot of counter magic, being that a lot of it's sorcery based and black. So like I've always said, there's no black blast in Pauper. There's red blasts and blue blasts. But ooh, I like this. Take that damage. Never been a fan of Nimble Mongoose. Remember when it came out, I was one of the only people saying, I don't think it will see regular play. It's not enough card for such a demand. Really fill that yard up. Our opponent's not doing themselves any favors with the delve combo mechanic there. But it does have Shroud, but these days it's very easy to kill. Yeah, it's a very balanced ban list for the Brewfest tournament a week from today. Okay. So we could have had them at 1 if we pointed that bolt to the face, but I still like our choices there. Okay, so now this is why blood tokens are so good in this list. Instead of just hard casting this, we can draw a card out of the deal, and this is why the deck would beat my normal one. Even though I played a lot of the same cards, just could do it a little bit more consistently and draw that extra card and do the damage. As we gain life back. Why couldn't it have been good? Let's dig for something that is. I'll just discard this. We've got an opening here. I want to try to capitalize on it. Come on, list. Alrighty. Well, we'll bring this back. Most likely, we have 2 alms in the yard. Higher probability that we're going to draw something of the red persuasion. So I'm actually going to do this right now. But we do have the treasure token, so we'll do this. 2, 4, 5, 6. I'm not worried about that edict. It's just going to eat a 1/1 mongoose, so I'd rather try to find an answer here. Good grief. That's enough lands. All right. Well, we're only taking 4 here. We got about 3 cards deeper. That's a good thing. This list can really churn through. Oh, update on Tortured Existence for whoever asked that earlier. Y'all know my son Sapphire is super good at playing that list, and even though he times out all the time, but in real life he clobbers people with it a lot. He has started to play. Well, that's a little bummer, but we got 2 Carnariums. We're fine. Anything I want to do here? No. He has started to play double copies of Marischal Crab in his Tortured Existence list. It's really strong. He's got the Kitchen Imp thing going and stuff, but man, having access to repetitive counter magic or just that ability. I mean, yeah, you can pay 3, but it's like, look at our board right now. It's like, really, you're going to wait around for 3 while you're getting bashed by, a bunch of flying 2/2s. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, they're going the. It's another thing about this list. It leans on artifacts, but it doesn't really get too hung up on them. Noticed a very nice balance with a lot of the lists out there. So, hey, African Haggis, good to see you, man. It's been a long time since you chimed in. I remember saying that name like 3 years back, I think. Yeah, Battered Cow is really good. All right. Like this, we'll loot and hopefully we find something that will kill that isn't a instant. It looks like they're really leaning on that to get through. Come on, give us a card. We got 4 mana available. Ooh, okay. Well, we can still do it. I've got 1 mana here. Oh, that's frustrating. But it'll win us the game next turn. We'll get rid of that and this. And that's it. Little Vampire's Kiss to just send them off into the night. Maybe the Blue Elemental Blast. Hopefully they'll be staring at 1 and just be like, oh no. We really don't want to see a life spell here. That's the whole reason for playing green, if you ask me. Yeah, African Haggis, I'll ask him to it might be a few days. He's not on MTG all that much, but and I don't think he has it built online. He's got it in paper, and I don't want to sit there and write everything down. So I'll have him build it and export the list, and I'll share it on in YouTube. If you go to community, there's a lot of little just behind the scenes stuff, deck lists. Sometimes I'm ranting about something. If after Saturday you're still not tired of this bald guy, then you can do that. All right, well, he's got 2 cards. If he wants to do some little trickaroony with Threshold, I'm fine, because we're not attacking anyway, and I'd rather him use his resources now. Okay. I can't get through with Imp anyway, so I'd rather prevent that extra 3 damage. Oh, Pedro Strike? No, I just mean access to life gain. I mean, this we'd definitely be going to a game 3 here if he had something like Pulse of Marasa or, Weather the Storm. I hope they're finding a Dispel, because we have a sorcery. I mean, by now, God, what's the storm count at now? Like 4? 3 maybe? Okay. Cool. Well, I want to pull this off first, just for the obvious reasons. Now this hits just about everything good, but they probably have Dispel, so I think we win this one, unless they're playing Envelop. Or Circular Logic. There's quite a few three beats that do it. All right, cool. Let's just jump on in here. See what we can do here. We have been playing some leagues too, Little Fight, as of late. We got a really nice 100 ticket from Chris at Carousel Games out of the UK. We played about 10 leagues or so with that. Win-win. All right, let's see what we can do here. Yes. Let's just get a good opener. No, that's not a good opener. Mulligan. Oh boy, this is really land heavy. I got to throw 1 back. But we're not going to fight anything. I got a feeling. I'm going to keep this, guys. It's weird, but boy, what a balance, huh? Boom, 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 boom. Hey, man, I love this art. That's one of my favorites. In real life, the birch on this tree is a lot brighter. It's a lot more, the contrast is a lot higher. And that's one of my favorite pieces of art, too. Alrighty. I don't want to get... See, this is when I'm a bad Magic player. I like this so much, but it's obviously the thing that we want to get rid of. But I like the art so much that it affects my decision-making, and that's bad. All right, let's lead off with a scare tactic. Yeah, Unexpected Fangs is... becoming quite expected. That is such a good card. We either have a Mirror or Affinity, it looks like. Boy, has a deck changed more than Affinity? Has been just craziness here. All right, let's get our mana right. I'll just bring this back. Slow roll it. Hopefully we hit some sort of madness outlet. If we find a looting now, we're going to be on easy street. I'll just Furnace Looting, and then we'll both Alms of the Vein and... Fiery Temper in 1 shot. Okay, it's Affinity. Yeah, Blood Fountain's such a good card. Yeah, I've been designing that blue 0 list over and over and over again. I just love playing that thing. And I worked in some Blood Fountains and the Deadly Dispute engine and stuff, and it's been winning a lot. Still not, I think we're a couple expansions away, a couple more 0 options, or maybe some more improvised. But I actually bit the bullet and went with Metallic Rebuke main, all 4 of them, just like Affinity does. It's that little afterthought, just like we were talking about with the Amir Shell Crab. It's like, yeah, people have the option to do that, but they often don't get there, do they? Okay, let's bring out the Epicure, get our air power going on here. I don't think I want to kill that frog. How will we cast the Imp, you might ask? We will go like this. Discarding this. Boop, 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 boop. We'll pay this. We'll discard this. We'll get it out for black. Yeah! And draw a card. Not a bad turn. Oh, and we'll attack for 2 in the air. I wish there was better art for Kitchen Imp. I gotta remember, I don't know if I'm a fan of even the alternate one there. I'm sitting in the alternate for the Rakdos Headliner. I've always liked that card. Remember when my son and I went to the draft, we just kept getting those and winning the tournament. We would get like 2 or 3 in like a 40 card list. It was like nighty night. Yeah, they say Rakdos burn, and that makes sense. It's technically maybe even more optimally named just a madness list, right? Okay. They so have Metallic Rebuke here. It's not even funny. Yeah. Oh, of course. Of course. Get 3 texts a week. One's always during a show. We're gonna get rebuked, but I'll use it up now. Discard 2 cards. Okay, we'll do this one and this one. This is when the deck really, really shines. Because we get to just draw multiple cards here, even if they get countered. I mean, it's Faithless Looting, when it plays like that, pretty much reads draw 2 cards for 1 mana and do some stuff. So we're at 21 again. I think that Epicure is going to meet with a Hemperor Enforcer, trying to nullify those. So far, so good in Chimpskey. I haven't had too much problem killing it. You run into, you know, if your deck fights you, it can be a thing. But I think that one of the biggest keys to beating Affinity is monitoring Blood Fountain, because they always get that, you know, that initial rush that they get you maybe 10 single digits around there. You deal with them, and then Blood Fountain, rinse, repeat. Here come the 4/4 beats again. It's funny how they used to lean on a Tog. Yeah, Little Fight. Did you know a Tog was banned? Quite a while ago, too. Yeah, that's what I find, too. La Conquista, it tends to get there a little bit more often. That life-gaining ability and such. All right. We'll save 4 life. Let that one go. Watch, we draw Deadly Dispute. Be like, no. We've just got such a... I'm going to draw 3 cards this turn, at least. Yeah, we could use another land. But let's see what we do first here, right? Let's loot. As David Bowie would say. Let's loot. Discard these 2. We'll go like this. We'll go like this. Where is their metallic goodies, huh? All right, here we go. Bring out a blocker that'll also do 1 damage. Name me a bad Pauper card that is bald. Go! All right. I respect that play. Well, that's going to screw things up. So we've got an active double looting in our yard, and we've got plenty of fodder to throw at it. It'd be really nice if we got Fodder Tosser. Oh, bummer. Now it's even. That's the other thing. You don't kill their stuff. They bargain it, 7 life, and then they go get it back with Blood Fountain. So this is going south quickly. I do need another black source. This is getting a little grim. Make sure to play it now. Or do the thing. We'll loot here. Oh, this is a nice hand, huh? All right, we'll discard this and this. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. Yeah, we've only got 1 black source. I really want to keep that. So we'll get rid of the... Glad I double checked that. Sometimes out of the corner of my eye, blood tokens turn into treasure tokens. Bad idea. Why I play 1 more swamp than usual. Just these sort of scenarios seem to come up a little more often than I would have thought. But oh, what have we got here? Oh, well, there's the Metallic Rebuke we've been kind of afraid of. I don't know why they didn't do it there. Did they? Oh, that was a blood token. Jesus, I get it. Hey, lordy, phone, be gone. All right, now I'm distracted. Let's attack. Let's do that damage to the face, I guess. We're taking 6. We might be dead next turn just from Galvanic Blasts and such. We really want this vein to get through. Still think we go to the dome here. Yeah, Blood Fountain's nuts and affinity. Real standard call is just 2 of those and anything with artifacts and enter synergy. But there's a bunch of these new kind of effects that'll fight. There's Deadly Dispute and then this one, but this one, like, they eat their own enforcers. You just saw they gained 7 life. They'd already be dead if they hadn't done that, but they did it. That's what makes affinity affinity. Just keep smashing for 4 to 8 damage a turn and bringing stuff back and crunch. Yikes. So now check it out. They got 2 more enforcers in the yard and they've gained 14 life. How does affinity do it, you might ask? That's how they do it. Next turn we'll have a little reprieve. But we're only going to hit for 5 as I can count. Better make that. What's this? Oh, that'll speed things up quite greatly. Yeah, what do we loot here and then double alms, right? I think that's the best call. Making sure to keep 2 black mana open. Let's loot. This will keep us alive. Let's discard these 2 cards. Black. Keep us alive a bit. Might keep us alive a lot a bit. Gotta assume they have Galvanic Blast. They're halfway through this list that we've only seen 1 of them. Seven damage coming our way. They have 2 Galvanic Blasts. Good for them. We don't have any more discard outlets. Part of me wants to pitch this and just see what we get. So the question here, you know, do we bring them to... their turn's going to be set up by the double Mer Enforcer play, which will leave open 1 mana source. 9 will be at 2 life. I think we go for it here. Really, really needing that... Remember that swamp that I pitched at the very beginning? First game, the very first game of today, we pitched that vault and it really fought us. Today, I was trying to make the point that I really like the way that swamp looks, but I shouldn't let that determine my decision, and it ended up being the wrong one still, because all we did was draw furnaces and mountains after that. All right. We don't really have the option to pitch that blood token now, because we don't have a mana floating anymore. Yeah, it's a pretty scary atmosphere, some of these lists, what they can do. And there's a lot less... here comes the... Uh-oh, we're dead. There's the card of cards. Little fight. Makeshift munitions really puts them over the top at this stage. Yeah, they got a Galvanic Blast here. We're dead. I'm so glad that that tapped for black. But that'll probably make... Oh, they're worried about that. I was expecting Galvanic Blast and then just sacrifice, and we're dead. That would have been exactly 6. They're very afraid of the imp. Okay. Rightfully so. We'll get to draw a few things here. Not what we wanted to see. Bring this down. Put us in Lifetown. They've got the Metallic Rebuke math here. We're at a natural Metalcraft, so I'm not too worried about this. I'm going to start discarding here. I mean, the game's over if we don't do something here. Yeah, they're going to have the Metallic move here. I guess we can't assume that they've got that. It's just, it's pretty obvious that they've got that. There's quite a few things that we might be able to draw here. Obviously, Epicure would be nice, but it's just going to get munitioned. Vampire's Kiss doesn't do much other than... Yeah, I gotta loot. Discard this. Desperation mode now. Well, that's maddening. We've got two ways to do it. I guess we act like we didn't find it, and then we bolt on their turn. I mean, they've got Metallic Rebuke math either way. My theory here is that maybe they'll munitions us EOT with that remaining mana, and then we'll have a clear route to victory. No? All right, let's see if it gets there. Bloop. They got it. And we lose. Affinity. Fun game, though. Yep, there it is. Somebody plays too much. I don't even need duress. See? I got deluxe vision. Concede this one. Let's go to game 2. Always tempted to have Mana Monkey in this list. Affinity's just not seen all that much these days, so oftentimes this is my standard dump of these 3 cards. They're awesome, but obviously not that awesome. Do what we did last time. These are nice evasion. These are nice blockers. Everything in this list is good. I'm liking this. I don't think Spellbomb's really worth it. It would be nice to have one, though. We can always dispute it. I just don't want to overboard here. So we'll get rid of one Fiery Temper. I just want the one. It's only good mid to late game. I don't want to be sitting on it all day because I'm an impatient person, and if I draw a dispute and the Spellbomb's not doing much work, I'm going to go for it. Keep in mind, too, if this dies to like an opponent's whatever, disenchant, you can still pay that black and draw the card. It's a nice little trick a lot of people aren't aware of. It doesn't have to be you activating it to make that work. Submit. Cut looting. I think that's the engine of the list. Almost never a time I don't want to see that card. It's one of the few lists I do like all 4 of them. Yeah, I want to play first, and can we get a good opener? We got a good opener, but there's no discard outlet here. It's pretty hard to say no to a hand like this, though. We'll keep and hope that we draw relevancy. Watch, we get marooned on these 2, and I'm forced to sack this to dispute just to stay in the game. But we'll keep. It's a 2-mana hand. Our mana's right. We just need Faithless Looting. And let's lead off with a threat here. It's super consistent. He's very old school, and even though he's a kid, he's he's almost 18 now. But you got to knock down a little of my praise. Obviously, I'm his dad, so there's some father ego there. But I mean, he really is like Spock. He's just very analytical, and it's not. He's a fascinating kid. I'll return this one here. We'll slow roll here. It's really feeling like that other game. Really a tragedy to hard cast Kitchen Imp. But I'll get on him after the show. And let me make sure I write the note. I already did that. I wrote Sapphire list, all big, with a little box, because I'm kind of OCD and I have to check boxes. Love your YouTube content. Oh, able to catch Pauper again live. Oh, man. Kraut's Patsy. Very nice. I love sauerkraut. I'm assuming they're of the German persuasion with the beginning of the name there. I've never seen that heart emote either. But if you're a real fan, you'd be using our emotes, right? Just kidding. Thanks for joining us. And again, thanks for chiming in and having a good old time. All right, here we go. Yay, there's the card I want to see the most. We're probably walking into a you-know-what, but we're going to chance it. Here's the gas. Rebuke, keeping a minute. Yep. All right, so that goes bye-bye. No. No, I say. Wish I could, but I can't. I think we just got to be... Well, we could eat the furnace. Draw 2 cards, get an artifact out of the deal. Our mana would still be right after that. I think I'm going to do that. Maybe EOT, though. Yeah, we play tabletop, his Tortured Existence list, almost daily. We have a best of 3. And, yeah, it plays very speedy, especially when you can just brown scale, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, he represents the loop, and you're like, okay, yeah, sure, gain 8 life a turn, I'll scoop. That's usually when the games are over. I never lose all my life, I always just give up. It's always one of those games. So the question here being, did a dispute EOT? I guess they could still have a rebuke, right? Trip the star, do all that stuff. Then we'd be stone raining ourselves. Let's just drop. I just hate spending this much time. All right, I hate to do this, guys, but I think we're still not in that mode. I mean, we could loot and then throw out the imp, or we could just hard cast the imp. I'd rather see some more cards, so let's loot. Making sure to tap on red. Yep, here it is again. I don't really... it's frustrating to run up against this much counter magic, but at least it's just focused on our looting and not really our resources. Our hand is just nasty. We just need to start deploying some of it. I don't think they got there. They're going to trip that? Yeah, that's how they're tapping that. So, bye-bye, Faithless Looting. Met with double rebuke. Okay. Discarding this and a dispute. Booyah. All right. No for that. Nope. Man, oh man. This affinity or control? What's going on? Let's open up the yards here. Already down a game. Man, we're down 6 minutes. Jeez, I gotta shut up. Wellspring showing up. Yeah. Need some more artifacts. Probably take down that enforcer just out of respect. We don't have that much of a clock. I'm pretty sure we kissed dispute here. It's funny when you just use these one words. Some neighbors listening in, they're just like, what's he talking about in there? All right. I think we're out of discard. I mean, counter magic country. God, they've only got 2 others. Let's lead off with an Epicure here. Yeah, I think we Epicure, Kiss, and then just Galvanic Blast that Enforcer. I'll have 1 creature in the yard, not 2. I'd like to point that at their face. Also afraid of the Rekner's whatever, and he's tapped out right now, so I think that's going to put my decision making a little bias in that favor. So Vampire's Kiss here, making sure to keep our red available so that our Galvanic Blast will be turned online. It just feels a lot safer. Now we're really set up for next turn. We've got a blocker / attacker. Our little Flame Jab Baldy. Flame Jab, I missed that card. It's funny how sneaky the design of things like blood tokens have kind of made Retrace come back. Yeah. Still not excited about any cards I've seen off the new set coming out. There was a bunch of big fatties and clunky stuff so far. We've been really spoiled. I mean, the last few sets, it's like there's been 4 or 5 good cards that are like mainstays now. I mean, I'm looking at one of them in my hand right now, Deadly Dispute. Epicure, there's another one. It's a lot of card for 1 mana. Woohoo! Are we free from blue? We are. Suck on that. Now we need red. Good times. Well, let's see what we draw. I always want to do this first because we might draw a Kitchen Imp. So that's good times. Yeah, I'm not too wild about much of this. We'll discard this and this for obvious reasons. We'll play them both. Always yield. Brutality. Boom, pop, crunch. Brutality. Click very slowly, or you might just lose it. Well, we've got it for a reason. I'll bring this out. I really didn't like seeing that card. Attack! Tempted to trip that now and not even draw the card. I'm going to trip it. My spidey senses are tingling. No advantage for me. Just negating the blood fountain. And out. All right, La Conquista, good to have you. Oh, you're welcome, my friend. You too, man. Thanks for hosting that tournament. Little bits. Everybody have a great day. I hope he's targeting that. Good. All right. Let's just yield through the turn. Nothing we can do. Hiya. This is normally the time when you get really afraid of makeshift munitions, but at this stage, we're not too worried about them pitching resources over and over again. Rechner's Bargain. All right. My hunch was correct. Uh-oh. Do they have another one? Curious. All right. I've got that in our hand. We'll bring this out. Probably just block dispute, or they shoot block dispute. Ammunition is online. Let me just hold back here. It's alive. Okay, chromatic star. Drawing cards. Sure. Use that fiery temper as a sort of duress for another rebuke. I want the dispute to come through first and foremost. No targets for you, Mr. Fountain. They could just... That's kind of goofy. All right. What, for an Epicure? Maybe they just accidentally left it in the list. Strange. So much blood. So much blood. Sounds like some cool horror movie. Speaking of horror movies, we've got a pretend one coming up real soon. From the legendary Bajuco Brothers. Wink, wink. Still one of my favorite edits I've ever done for the show. I should probably make a PG version of it, though. It's a pretty dark. Cool. Well, we got that. I'm going to just get greedy here, and we're just going to kill a blood token to make a treasure. Hopefully we don't run into Metallic Rebuke. Cool. We don't. And we prevented a really bad draw, and we've got Faithless Looting in the yard to prevent all that stuff from coming back. Woohoo! All right. Leave that there. Got a blocker. Want to keep 3 up, so let's loot here. Even though we don't really have too many targets. Here comes the 3rd one. Oh no, okay. That's cool. We've got options. Yeah, so we'll just dispute whatever fate that Epicure is meant for. It will be under our knife, not theirs. It's been nice knowing you, Epicure. Okay, standard play. They use a resource. We sacrifice something that's going away anyway, and do some stuff. I think we'll hold on that. Yeah. All right. Boy, they really don't like those Faithless Lootings. I'm feeling it. Definitely the feel for our deck. Boy, we're going to lose to time here. I'm taking way too long here. Explaining every decision, but no money on the line. We're feeling fine. Good times. They dispute. Okay. Really don't want to see a Reckoner's Bargain here. That'll put him at 14, and then we're just dead. This deck can do a lot of damage, but like most lists, if you start gaining obscene amounts, then there's nowhere to go. Cool. Let's see if we can get there. Boop. That'll help our progressions. I think we just get there, because if they've got Rebuke, we can just pay for it. I just don't want to see a bargain here. See a bargain, I'm going to have to sacrifice, pitch the bridge, and hopefully we draw into another. That sucks too. Let's do that now, just in case we do have like a Galvanic Blast off the top. Hey, somebody knows how to play Magic. But now I've got 7 minutes. That should be enough time. They got to just. Oh no, they got it. Do they have it? Are they gonna have a Enforcer for lunch? They're looking. That just drew them a card. They've got the treasure token. Oh no, the black is there. Reckoner's Bargain. It's right out of a movie. Oh good, it's just Dispute. How cool, how funny is that? Like one of the most powerful cards in Black Pauper, the most powerful, and you're like, oh good, I'm glad it was just that. Not the Dispute. No. They're still in it. What a play. Awesome, awesome Magic. Well done, opponent. I will say this. You know, sometimes I'll make kind of a janky list. It's just a lot of fun, has a lot of potential, and it's under the guise of like, hey, if you want to get back into Magic or you want something fun again, this is a list that we're playing now that is very, very fun, makes for very entertaining games and nail biters, and is incredibly high up in the tier ranking. So, crunch, we're dead. Yep, this is when Makeshift Munitions just shine so hard. But they're great games, but we lost both of them. Really well timed and placed counters. It was like fighting up against a pithing needle. It's like we're running and they just put a little pebble under our foot and we slip and kind of tear something in our knee. We're like, oh, I could still walk there. And not fast enough, old man. All right. So I'm going to just grab some coffee and we'll be right back and play some more after this. But I'll let our opponent finish us off here. Excellent game, David Burrito. And we've Shirazamon, just for your hangover today. We've got some of our oldest bathroom breaks. We're going to be playing the Moon Cheese Baby, the astronaut skit. And because of that, we're going to play the really creepy, the actual Moon Cheese Baby at the very end of it. But for right now, we're just going to enjoy some dog metal or astronauts. I think we'll go with the astronauts. Be back right after this.
I'm talking, of course, about prejudice against astronauts. Please laugh. It helps the healing. Now, as we all know, NASA has been sending.
Intended for man to walk on the moon, then we had been born with cement feet.
I agree. My community does not need astronauts defying gravity in front of my children.
That's right. Driving their moon buggies through our neighborhoods all time of night, playing that theme to 2001 really loud on their Cosmo blasters.
Folks.
Astronauts.
This is a perfect example of what's going on. There is a serious cultural clash in this country. So in the spirit of opening those lines of communication, I'd like to introduce you all right now to a real astronaut, Lieutenant Mike Birchwood. Mike, come on up, Mike. Come on, come up here, give me a hand.
Watch out! He'll try to stick an American flag in you.
That's not all he'll stick in you.
Look, just because I've spent some time outside the Earth's gravitational pull doesn't mean that I'm different than you.
They can't eat normal food and they're addicted to Tang.
That's not true. I drink Tang because I like the taste.
You like the taste of recycled urine.
That's completely insane.
Astronauts eat breakfast upside down.
I have only eaten breakfast upside down 2 or 3 times since I got back from my last mission.
You folks better watch out. They're covered in astro germs. Just last year, an astronaut moved into my neighborhood. Simultaneously, all the leaves started dying and falling off our oak trees.
Was that month October?
September, October.
Yeah, it's called fall. It happens every year. Now sit down. Mike Birchwood is a man, just like you and I. A man who'd probably like nothing more than to settle down, meet a nice woman, raise a family.
But the problem is, most women are afraid to touch me.
That's right, ladies. He'd make you infertile on account his sperms from another time continuum.
I will not fornicate with you. With your juicy astronaut lips and your firm astronaut buttocks.
I think there are several issues going on here.
I would gladly trade all of my walks on the moon for the simple caress of a woman.
I will not touch your bottom. Stop begging me.
Who's begging you?
We don't need no moon cheese babies.
What the hell is a moon cheese baby?
He's talking about how the moon is supposedly made of cheese.
Regardless, how would you end up with a baby made out of it?
You tell us.
And we're back. Let's hope we can pull off some more entertaining games. That was a lot of fun, even though we did lose that game. Man, what a nail biter that was. Awesome, awesome. All right, let's see what we're up against. Pedro Struck. Hey, from the chat to the game. Yeah, that's one of our very oldest things. Every once in a while, I'll dust off the oldies and show them off. But, woo, like this hand. Nice even split. Feels like we're playing a monocolor list. Regardless, how would you end up with a baby made out of it? You tell us. We'll keep. That's a first for today, right? Here's 7 cards. So later on, I'll be playing this really creepy, that's me saying that. It's an old PlayStation commercial, but I modified it and made the baby's eyes into these Rakdos symbols, and it's like the propaganda symbol. And one of the first little Adult Swimmy sort of style commercial outtakes we did, and it one day Shiraz just said, like, it's the moon cheese baby, and so it's kind of had a fondness in our hearts. I only play it like once or twice a year tops. Gathered Swarm. This is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, so let's kill it straight out. Crunch. Bunch. Get out of here. All right, this is going to be a curse. Inclusion. Woo! Yeah, Upright Citizens Brigade. I wish I had like a DVD of all of them. They came out with one for the first like 2 seasons, and then it just died. And I used to have VHS copies. They're somewhere still, but you know, they're so grainy, and you think on YouTube somebody would do something with them. It's weird. Some are super copyright heavy, and other ones are just totally free and good to use. It's very strange. All right, let's just develop here. Drop this and get our bridge right. Rather just, we'll pull this off and slow roll it here. Hey, African Hats, thanks for joining us. Hopefully you can catch the rest of it on YouTube if you're bored or curious. Don't blame you if you pass. I got this. I know I shared this many moons ago on the stream, but got about 200-year-old doll that my brother's wife knows I like spooky things, and so this is always staring at me streaming now. It just smells of like old parchment and lost dreams. All right. We get closer to October, you know, I start winding up. Sorry about it. This shows a good debut for it. Let's get our flyer in the air somehow. All right. Yeah, when it moves on. Yeah, exactly. I love it. Don't really have too many options here. We're gonna just bump here, and then I'll block dispute. Technology. That Epicure's not going to do anything in this game. I don't want to turn it into a 3/3 hog. I know you'd think I would just play Festival Crasher decks all my life because I like Halloween so much. Kids and wife always laugh. I like one of Dad's favorite dates, July 5th, because here in the States, the next big holiday, which is quite a ways away, is Halloween. Yeah, this is definitely a Trespasser's Cursed inclusion list here, and Psychotic Haze. You know what? I think that's overboarding. All it's going to grab is tokens. That swarm's going to get out of control. Oh, I missed a play there. All I had to do is, I mean, I could still do it. Discard the imp and block. Don't really want to do it against this list, though. And I kind of want to preserve the Galvanic Blast. So I don't think it was a misplay now. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, see? That's what I meant. Tempted to not even lose the Epicure here. But I'll prevent 1 damage. I mean, eventually this is going to be so much more damage that I'd be preventing. But right now I think it's worth the tempo. Creepy doll, yeah. We'll kill this, get some value out of it, not take any damage, and not promote the swine into something terrifying. Oh, what's this? Maybe add a morbid trigger? What's going on here? Okay, things are looking up. Now, if we just draw Faithless Looting, we will be set, secure, locked, and loaded. I want to get rid of that Galvanic Blast quite quickly. This is a lot of damage. That is 11 a turn. We got 14 damage in our hand and 16 with the imp. We just have to... Okay, well that'll block. I like that draw a lot. Let me get the blast done. So we're going to have to start sacrificing some things here. Get a blocker out, do some more damage. Let's get our imp airborne. Discard here. Play it with the help of a token, since we don't have Metalcraft anymore. Drawing a card. Let's hope it's a land. It is not. We still have Metalcraft. All right, I think we got this. Next turn's going to be super painful. They might have an instant trigger that really hurts us, but... Mono blue stomping, nice. Yeah, with Phantasmal Bears and such, and Sunken Cities, there's some pretty aggro lists that could fall under that moniker, for sure. I've seen Initiative work a few times. I still think Monarch's better. Pauper anyway. Come on over, Zoo. Just Big Green, I'll call this one, right? Big G. Let's take the least damage. Yeah, I don't think that Serpent's going to see much play either. First 2 weeks, I just think there's better options. Now, oh, good, he's Hellbent. I was like, are they waiting around for, can we get there? That's, yeah. All right, here's 4. We have Metalcraft, just. Yeah, and then we pitch this for the Alms. Just getting there. Regulating resources. It's like we were a bean counter there. Had to be. That was right on the edge. So this is cute and all, but I think it's going to be way too situational. But this will always keep us in the game and keep things going. Again, going to lean on taking out Bump in the Night. Being green, they might have... I think I'm going to lose the Fodder Tosser just in case they go with the artifact removal plan here. And I guess we get rid of the 2-chain lightnings again. Everything else is just such gas. The Morbid mechanic. Tempted to maybe lose 1 dispute, but it's always tough to even suggest that. It's like, hey, do I want to lose the best card? Submit. Yeah, Murphy Black, there's a lot of wins like that with this list where you're like, well, I guess I lost, and you're like, oh, I see an out. I'd call it Rakdos Eureka, which means we found gold. Very cool city too. I love Eureka, California. It's always overcast. Every scene looks like from the Goonies, like their little neighborhood. It's always overcast, but boy, once they eviscerated the logging in the mid to early 90s, that community is just dead. It's so sad. It's just all these like crack people, and not everywhere, but I mean, I'm logging this. I don't know why I'm staring at it so long. Yes, Faithless Looting, thank you. Keep. Alrighty. I think I'll put, we have a blast. Bye-bye, Swamp. I love you so much. But if they have an anti-artifact plan, I'm going to be really regretting getting rid of that basic, but we'll see. So he has all these old Victorian art, and, you know, it's right on the ocean. There's redwoods everywhere. It's always foggy. I mean, it's just such a cool place. Just wish there was a way to do what I do from there. I'm a little ignorant on the Pauper initiative route. Okay. Let's do what we did last game. That's way too early for that thing to be out on turn 1. It'd really be nice if we drew a curse here. I'll be looting no matter what, mostly to find a curse. The drawback plan will be the Imp. I'm not going to wait for some Hail Mary, like get ultra value. Yeah, there's a nice basic I can toss. All right, let's do this to here. Throw out the Imp and Mountain. Sure. It ain't so bad. Let's go. We're on board first, baby. Woo! From what I've seen, I think it's slightly below Monarch. Having access to decent creatures, too, with haste, like this Kitchen Imp, you know, it's like we don't really need to play Monarch. We just take it at instant speed, usually. Yeah, Monarch can be a tricky one. You know, there's a lot of people who want to get rid of it and such, but uh-oh, that's a problem. All right, let's drop that artifact land and roast that to death. I do not want that healing salve hitting us every turn. Drop the bridge, drop the bridge. We gotta pay our dues here. Don't have mutagenic. Don't do it. All right. kind of a 2-for-1. Metalcraft is here. I just hope their sideboard hate doesn't show up. God, where's our curses? I pack all 4 of them for a reason. Amazing against fairies too. Especially the the swarm mono blue variety, because they just come at you with everything. Whoa, carefree swine master. I've been called that. Whenever it attacks, you pay 1 in a green. If you do, create a 2/2 boar token. I don't think I've ever seen this card. Yeah. At 2 and a green, that's way too expensive for me to... I look past most things that cost that. Well, we've got options here. Let's loot. Right, we've got the Alms, so we'll do this first, just in case we see another imp. We'll always do this before combat. All right, we'll discard this. Maybe the Carnarium? Nah. We'll get rid of a bridge. Cast this. Very relevant in this matchup, and many like it. Maybe unless you're going up again. No, even Fogburn. Fogburn? Huh? Simic Fog. But even then, you're still doing the damage, so good times. Hiya! Attack. Love, love, love having a looting in my hand. I knew somebody was going to say that, Ducat. Little slip of the tongue, and it's like, Fogburn. Yeah, yeah. That's how I made a White Infect a thing. Somebody early on was like really complimentary. They were saying something like, "You can make anything in Pauper," and I was like, "Well, I don't know." And then somebody was like, "Next, you're going to come up with White Infect," and I was like, "I don't think so." And then I looked at the cards and I'm like, "Oh, there's something there." I've probably taken that to 5 leagues. I've won, I think, one like a 5-0, and then the rest of them have all been like 3-2 or 2-3s. Real iffy, but it's just so much fun to just come sporting that. It's good times. Is that attacking, or is it just in play tapped? Tapped and attacking. Huh? Damn. The boars have it. This life gain is no joke. I like your style, Ducat. All right, it is looting time. We'll let's be smart about this. We'll tap this, bring back the Carnarium, or be careful, bring back the mountain. We'll loot with the mana. Hopefully we draw some gas. That's fine. Sorry for the throat issue there. All right, we've got a way out of this lifelink crap. Let's get rid of it, and quite a resource there too. You know, honestly, I think I would have put that on this, because at 2/5, I've got to use double the resources to get rid of this stuff. That's just a setup turn here. This is you know, you kind of laugh at some of these rogue cards like that, but once the mana's established and stuff, you just churning out. Is it only once a turn? Oh my goodness. Imagine if you just had tons of mana. It doesn't say once per turn. You just get some mana engine attack and just swing for the win, because you've got the guise of like a one. Sorry about my throat. You got the guise of like, hey, yeah, there's a 1/4, you know, kind of janky card, and then somehow just generate just ritual sort of thing, and then just pop, win with haste pigs out of the blue. I like it. Once a turn. I didn't read that. Let me read it again. If you do, create a 2/2. No, you can just keep paying for it. Is that Songs of the Dam engine and stuff? That'd be hilarious. See something like that go through. Keep in mind, our opponent would be at 7 if it wasn't for Unexpected Fangs. Which, little fight, be careful if you do get back into Magic or Pauper. You will see a lot of this card, and usually on the back of a Gurmag Angler. And that's usually when it's time to go to the next game. not suffer through the beatings like you and I are often doing. Let's see if he double pays here, because then we're going to be taking 5. Double pay. I want to see it. If I'm going to get killed, I want it to be by pigs. I love pigs. God knows I've eaten enough of them. They got to get revenge on me. Am I reading this wrong, guys? When it attacks, you may pay that. If you do, create this. Pay for it multiple times. All right, cool. This is always a more elegant way of doing this. We'll just do this here. Could have thrown that from the yard. Alrighty, well, this is pretty easy to decide, right? Bloop, bloop. This is when the deck just starts screaming. I love me some madness. Such a fun style. Always yield, please. Always do the thing. Avatar fans out there, do the thing, Julie. My favorite cartoon character of all time. I think I'm going to hold this. I don't want to see a life gain trigger happen again here. I've got him really close to dead. Oh, bummer. All right. Well, there goes my idea. The majority of the time when that happens to me, I interpret it wrong. I will admit to that. I'm one of these people, I have to see it, and then it's bedrock, and I've got it. But if I'm reading, I love reading. I read a lot of fantasy novels, mostly by Terry Pratchett and stuff. But, man, it's not the way I learn. That is for sure. I mean, I can learn that way. It's just, it's definitely low on the totem pole of... All right. I'm holding for expected fangs here. Is this a piggy or is this a fangs? I've already seen 2 fangs. Sui. Got life gain. What's going on here? All right, I like that. They could still have they could pop that for Weather the Storm here. Sure. I don't need to do a DOT. I'll just hold it. Let's go. Boop, 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 boop. I should have double checked that nothing had reach. That was a wanton attack there, right? Boop, bow, crunch. I really wish Trespasser's Curse showed up there. Dang it. Got Weather the Storm. That's what I was afraid of. Alrighty. Let's trip this here. Alrighty. They gain 6. Take 4. Are we dead next turn? We did draw a nice little So we'll be taking 2, 4, 6, 8. I think we could stay alive with an Epicure play here. What I'm considering is yeah, we'd be out of mana there. All right. Kind of a no-brainer here. This kills... I mean, we got him dead on board next turn. I'm always surprised how often tripping that blood token finds the win. Yeah, I know. I counted the other boar. Maybe I didn't. Hiya! I think we'll be at 1. Maths. Or does the swine and the brindle shell come through a little too much? We shall see. Yeah, I think we're dead here. An exciting game down to the wire. Very cool. Well, now we can go to game 3 and hope that Trespasser's Curse comes up. Boink! A trick for the win. Right. My math was right. We can hold at 1. Any trick and we're just dead though. Yeah, he was in chat earlier. They probably drew black answers and now they don't have black mana. What is this? Jewel Thief. Okay. It doesn't have reach. It does have everything else. Yeah, I know. Me and my pigs, right? Ooh, boy, what a match. Awesome. Let's just jump right into another one here. Create. Let's go. Man, I need some more coffee. That was a pretty cool list. The swine. The swine with the time. Yeah, that was sweet. As we wait. Yeah, I don't like when black cards have cutesy text or it's like kind of a cute thing. It's like, come on. It's supposed to be demons and stuff, right? I know imps are little, what do you call, mischievous creatures, not so evil, but still. Make it better, D. Wow, would I like to play first? Yes. Well, normally I'd throw this back. We do have looting. I think we got to throw this back because we don't want to be throwing out quality just to find lands. So we'll mulligan here. Oh boy. Oh, Pedro struck. I get it. Yeah. Well, Penumbra Spider is a hell of a card. I got to mulligan this. I don't know why I'm staring at it. All right, we'll keep that. Jeez. 2 mana decks. We'll do this. It's kind of hiccup on everything here. I'll say keep. And by the way, thanks, Pedro Struck, for playing a deck that isn't going to just prey on what you know I was playing today. That was big of you. 2 cards. All right, we're not going to be disputing anything soon. I really want to have that go online. We don't know what we're up against. We got Fuel for the Fire here. I think I'm going to get rid of a Temper. Done. I think even subconsciously sometimes that'll happen when we just have these kind of fun community outings. If I'm like on Infect, somebody will play like an all removal base deck or something. It's like, oh, okay, that feels a little unfair, especially if you know what I'm on. Mindstab Thrall, adorable. Oh man, I've made money with Mindstab Thrall back when Lithofight and I used to play anti, not with each other, but with other people. I had a Mindstab Thrall Contract from Below and Balance and Hypnotorox and just eviscerate people's hands and then throw a rack on them and laugh all the way to the bank. All right, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to play some Magic. What is this, Affinity again? Let's get our Kiss online. Boop. I had way too much to drink one night and I kissed myself. I was like, okay, time to fold up shop. Glad it wasn't a league. Yeah, when Magic was for keeps. I love me some Contract from Below. Oh, yeah. Let's get online early here. This is a reckless play, but I'm going to go for it. Let's go. If you're not going to be mad when you're playing Madness, what's the point? We'll save that Galvanic Blast. I'll play Carnarium here, get our mana just right. Attack. We got Metalcraft when we want it. Don't know if we're... it's weird seeing a basic swamp here. I'm not quite sure what this is. That's fine. No way to protect that, is there? Just pass the turn here. Got 10 damage in our hand. End of turn. There's 70 cents a piece now, huh? Wow. What am I missing? Yeah, whenever you can just generate stuff, that's pretty awesome. Let's see what they're going to find here. Not enough people are playing Trinket Mages, damn it. It's a great card. Make it so. Navigator's Compass. Life headed our way. Dang it. I'm sure there's a Skyfisher engine coming in here. So I want to shut it off completely. All right, let's blast here. And I guess we just do 6 more right now, right? Let's go for it, guys. We're here to have some fun, play some Magic. We'll discard this. Navigator's Compass is really going to get him back in this. Draw a card. Hopefully it's awesome. All right, get out of here. Let's get him scared. Ooh, he's scared. Ah, come on. Epicure, whose team are you on? We have achieved Metalcraft, and now we will get rid of it. 'Cause I've got to try to win quick here. Come on, give me something good. Give me something good. No. Whoop. And pass. Wah, wah, wah. Here comes a Compass, probably followed by a Skyfisher to replay the Compass, and then they'll be at 11. And I'm going to feel like a fool. Tried to get there. Double land drops will do that to you. Thwart the party. I love the artwork on this. This is in my top 100 probably. That is just a gorgeous use of just light and shade and placement. Love it. Oh yeah, Murphy Black. I remember that. Like, why would I use an artifact? I'll just use a land. You know, it was just like people just so didn't get. Everybody was so slow to the party on a lot of that stuff. All right, I'm just gonna hold for value here. Representing like some sort of counter stuff. I mean, we could get them to 5, and then what? I'd rather get that draw off of it. If we get either another token, or hopefully maybe like Fodder Tosser will show up here. Yeah. Okay, hey, at least there wasn't a Skyfisher, right? More life. Let's do 3, 4 life gain so far. There's a card you don't see all that often. Trinket Mage able to fish that up rather nicely. Wow, I love this play. Okay. I mean, it's really the only target, so. Awesome. I hate doing this. I've got a wide open field, and I've got a hasted critter, so I'm just going to cast it. It's probably the second time in my life I've done that. At this stage of the game, I think it's the right play. What am I going to do? Just sit there and wait for synergy and avoid the game? Go and get it. Hopefully they're leaning on more capsules for the win, right? Litified, how's the wife? How are the boys? We haven't talked in a while. Everybody doing good? And love me some trinket control lists. A lot of options. Almost too many. Navigator's Compass, so sweet. I think that's really underused too. Here comes the engine. All right, Spellbomb. For sure, when you see black and white together without pestilence. So just drawing that for value. It's not going to do too much here. We'll block our imp all day long. Not for long. Woo! Unless they can do this. Let's get rid of our dude here. Get out of our way. I'd rather do consistent. You know, I should have really... There's so many 3-mana spells. That was probably the better move was to do that, but all right. 2. I'm still going to hold on that Veins. Yeah, little fight. Wait till you see that card, the Experimental Synthesizer, in action in like a Boros list. Obscene. Really thought about trying to fit it into something like this. Okay, here comes the life engine. Unfortunately. Compass back, 3 life up. Do it again. It doesn't look like much, but when you see it in action, you're like, oh my god, that guy just drew 7 cards. Dispute. Oh, wow, they got rid of Compass? That must have been a misclick by the opponent. Obviously, Wellspring's the answer. Well, they are at 7 cards. 6 now. Maybe they just didn't want to have to discard. Is their hand that good? But, God, getting rid of the life option against a deck that's trying to burn you out? They're representing Ephemerate. I don't know if... I don't know the list. Yeah, I don't mean to cast dispersions. It's just, I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, what if I left Pauper like at the worst time? Things got really interesting, and there's like 2 sets came out like back to back, and there was like 8 or 9 new cards in the format that just really changed things up. A bunch of bannings happened that got rid of some problems, made by other problems. Yeah, Kamigawa. I so underestimated that set. I saw the neon lights and I was put off. I'll admit it. Oh boy. Here comes the engine. Here comes the wellspring. I haven't seen any counter magic yet. Yeah, there's some brews I've had where I actually prefer the Moon Circuit Hacker over Ninja of the Deep Hours. Especially when your mana is really restrictive. This is we didn't get there fast enough. You can feel the game slipping away. A lot of 2/3 bodies. Sanctum Gargoyle used to be brewed with a lot. Way back, like when people were playing Corrupt and, you know, Tendrils of Corruption and Mono Black was the thing, like in the very early days of Pauper. That was great. Oh, come on, list. We're at 23. I'm just going to do that to not look suspicious, like we're hoarding lands. Everybody knows we are. I've always wanted to come up too with like, you know, when you print up a list and you just kind of keep it there and stuff. It'd be neat to have a little stat sheet where you can have like, you know, obviously like an optimal hand that's actually written down, but then also like a mana stop point. Like, you know, once you reach, you know, 5 lands, hold, that sort of thing, just generalized stuff. So I don't want to block that Mirror Retriever because it's just going to bring back life. So I'll just take 5 here. Hope he doesn't have any defense. Kitchen Imp's a hell of a card, but not against 2/3 bodies. This engine is squishing us. Got him to single digits. That compass is coming back. I'm about to scoop here, guys. I do believe I'm going to bring in the curse. There's a lot of recursion going on here, and that might mean the difference. You get a couple of those out, and before you know it, the person's just, you know, they're just stuck. They have to play a critter, but if they do, they die. You know me. I love those scenarios. All the way back up at 18. My goodness. I don't want to pat them on the back too much here. It's just a case of us drawing this, right? We almost got there, but we're going to have to go to game 2. I mean, it's a cool list. I've seen many like it before. I think everybody's got something like that built. All right, we're obviously bringing in these cards and these cards. What to take out. I like the long game of this. I don't like bump. I'll lose a dispute. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to do it. I'll lose a bolt. I'll lose a kiss. I'll lose a tosser. I'll lose a temper. Have we got there yet? I'll lose a chain. I'd rather have a tosser than this. That's just repetitive damage when we get too many lands. Hiya! Trespasser's Curse. Bring in all 4, and we probably won't see a single one. Boy, when you do, it's a hell of a card. All right. Let's hope for the best. Ugh. I'm going to mulligan this. Too much land. We need to be the problem early. Come on. Why can't I have another mountain here? We'll mulligan again. We'll keep this one. It is slow as a nightmare, but we do have a curse, and it's early. So we'll play the slow game. Keep. Ay. We'll do that. Hope I get a basic just straight out. Be nice to drop that curse on turn 2. Yeah. Well, I like having a Carnarium. Dust to dust. Damn good card all of a sudden. There we go. Boink. Nice and early. There we are. Yield through the game. Yield through the game. Leave it out there. Set and forget. That should be one of those split cards in Magic, right? Set and forget it. The life gain starts early. But so does the life drain. All right. Let's bring back our artifact here. We'll loot. And, we'll discard this dude. I'll live dangerously and get rid of the vault. Sure. I like all our other cards too much. And that way, if they do have, they are kind of representing that they've got dust to dust, right? It's like, good luck. My artifacts is gone. That way, they can't nix the Spellbomb and force me to use it. Do have a Galvanic Blast that's a little neutered. Opponent stifled. Look at this. And they do get a blocker, but wow. Okay. Another Alms. I'm just going to cast it. Just like to maximize my turn frequency here. We'll do one. We'll hold the other one. I hate turns of nothingness. I should learn to enjoy them. But I can't avoid my true nature. I've only got one. I really want to, even more so than a land, I'd really like to just hit curse. That's why I looted early too. All right, there goes our graveyard. Two can play at that game. Hurts a little bit. Let's just get like a bolt and just nix that Skyfisher. Okay, hey, I called for it. I got it. That's cool. Still like it. I don't want to put any targets out that I don't need to. Okay. Another Skyfisher. Okay. They gain 2 life. They lose 2. Good times. I can just deal with their critters. I could probably let the curse just get all the way there. So many strategies that's what it turns into. Oh boy. Well, Let's get one of these out. Okay. I hope he chooses Alms here. That'd be hilarious. How chauvinistic of me. He could be a female. Not the worst duress. Aiming at those skyfishers, if anything. Well, that's not true. If I hit Metalcraft, gosh, that's going to put him at single digits at 7. Come on, little Kitchen Imp. I don't want to see that. I don't know what I want to see here. Let's see what we see. That's a pretty good thing to see. See. And we get Metalcraft, just like that. Bloop. Crunch. Now, do we shoot them or the birds? I think we shoot them. I think we start going face here. Yeah, a lot of times too, people make the mistake against Blackburn. They'll bring in prismatic strands, and you know it's going to help against some blasts and stuff. But for the most part, everything is loss of life, and so I lost count of the number of people I'll have like a Alms of the Vein on the stack, and they second time that game they'll strands for black. I don't know, maybe they're enjoying the leaf a little bit too much. Alrighty, well, you know I've got this, so let's do that. Bloop. Getting a counterspell out of the deal. Okay. That elf does look under duress, that is for sure. Man, I wish I had a way to get that back. That's so funny when you only have one card and they make it they make you discard. It's like, you fool. That's kind of a risky thing to bring in duress against a madness list. If our mana was right, we would have made him pay for that. Okay, they're gaining 2 life there. Life's a bit of an issue here. Don't want this to keep up. There's some more life. Yeah. I think I hold now that we've seen duress. I'm going to hold on to this swamp. Feels like this is getting away from us. Could draw 2 cards technically here if we got rid of the graveyard. Another reason to get rid of some red cards. Must be with the blue elemental blast play there. Good to know that if we went after the Skyfisher, probably still would have met with a blue blast. So we're taking 4 a turn. This hurts. We're not able to apply enough pressure. Curses are there. What is this new devilry? Okay, well this makes our plan really easy here. We'll trip this right now. Yes. Please draw a card. Now, do I want to kill one of the birdies? The blue's out. A dispute. Alright. I'm going to kill a Skyfisher while we've got the option here. Still going to be taking 4 a turn. I don't want it to turn into 6. That way they don't have the treasure to respond with if they do have another blast. Gain some life here. He still gets the bridge back. Nice little play. Don't know, blue's being a little too I guess if you've got the engine with the navigator's compass, yeah. Got to deal with these creatures, or that those curses aren't going to be able to do enough work. Cancel. I do want to pitch this land. I want to find a way to kill one or both of these, but Skyfisher first because I don't want it coming back. Thank you, list. It's nice when you work. Boop. Now do I hold? I'm going to pitch this. That's getting pretty reckless here. I think I'm going to use black here. Pitch. Okay, Epicure. Gotta let my curses do their thing, so I gotta keep the airways clear. Great. Funny holding at 3 mana. This is pretty crazy. Damn compass. Just keep in a minute. It's a cool design. Flexible. Strong. So we beat Jund, lost to Affinity, which were great games. Beat Big Green. Looks like we're going to lose to, what do you call it when it's these 3 colors? What is that? Pant? No, that's with green. Alrighty. We'll kiss again. Let's try to stay in this a little bit. Esper, that's right. I wouldn't really call it Esper Control. It's more like a Esper Sack. But that's a gamble. I don't know if it's you want to run Blood Fountain when you have Skyfishers. I think I would probably go more towards Omen of the Dead. That costs you like a full turn of resource. I know you've got the artifact engine to bring back Blood Fountain. I just think it's a bit more clunky. Not everything has to be an artifact. I think if they leaned or designed it with the Omen of the Dead, it might be a little bit stronger. Not go so all in on artifacts. I mean, so many people have options for it. Yeah, Leonin Squire to go get back the 1-drops. Jeez. Kiss for days. Do we even need it at this point? I'd almost rather just see another card. Man, that's a lot of tokens. I kind of want to throw this out. Let's discard it. Give me something better. Alrighty. Let's wait for the duress we all know is coming, right? We can also EOT it. I feel like a fool if we draw into a imp and we do an EOT. Come on, show me duress. Let's go. Damn it. Ugh. The curse would have won by now. I so wanted that to be a duress. Just like, help us out. I almost brewed with Evankar's Justice for this kind of scenario, but yeah, we're losing this one, guys. We'll do this like right now so that maybe they forget their attack phase. We all know that's a far cry, but hey, it might happen, right? Pay the red, discard with black, floating. Maybe the cadence of this, they'll forget that it's our turn. I don't know. I'm reaching for straws here, people. Opponent's got us locked up. Way too much life consistency. Got plenty of answers. They got us. Let's see what we draw. We are at 21, but my goodness. 8 damage a turn. It's not going to last too long. Yeah, I know, Nim Chimpskey. Don't get any ideas. I don't want to face it twice. So please don't join in. This usually has the tools to get there. Graveyard 8 wasn't enough. We'll get rid of... Let's just see what we get. Nope, not good enough. Pretty cool. Pretty cool grindy list. Did us in. So we go. Let's see. I've only done one. I'm going to go grab one thing of coffee. We'll run to a break. And I'll be right back after, I believe this, for the last round. Woo!
Swamped with horror. As PauperRBust Studios presents all the classic horror films from the legendary Pachuca brothers. First, the 70s masterpiece, Howl from Beyond. Then, the fan favorite, The Faceless Butcher. Plus, the cult classic, Undying Evil. Followed by non-stop horror like Innocent Blood, Grim Harvest, Bloodseeker, Evil Presence, Twisted Abomination, and many more. A murderous mayhem marathon, Rakdos style. Don't miss PauperRBust's horror galore. Coming soon.
And we're back. Oh, sorry for you faint of heart out there. Still my favorite edit. Always the Rakdos Persuasion. Good stuff. Whoo. All right. Got me some more caffeine. These little Cokes my wife gets makes me feel like Andre the Giant. It's like what his hand would look like when he would hold a normal soda, right? Alrighty, let's say yes and hope. Hey, it's a good hand. Imagine that. We haven't had to skim her down. More meat. I know. I should get some sponsor, right? I'm always pitching Coke Zero. The Madness engine is a boot. Got the Trebuchet all day. Land. Alrighty. Let's get aggro. Let's get aggro. Boop. Let's draw some cards. Hit some face. Spread this Dimir player all over the place. Let's go. Alright, cool. Hey, we even drew good. Bam. Fodder Tosser up. I always have to do a double take when I fodder toss Alms of the Vein. I'm like, 5 damage for one card? I was like, woo-wee. Kind of unpreventable, too. It's loss and then artifact damage. It's like, good luck, Prismatic player. All right, are we going to get Affinity Revenge? We had a super close 2 games against Affinity, but we lost them both. I think that was when I was complaining about drawing really bad. We're not doing that this game. Oh, my goodness. The perks keep coming. All day, all night, folks. The only problem with Fodder Tosser's play right there is we have nothing to toss to because everything's too good. There are some Madness Zero cards. I think it brings a black creature back from the yard, but not worthy of it. Oh, we do have Pyresias. Yeah, that's right. You definitely know that. I know that's what you're getting at. I've got the Glinthawk security commercial in the can. I still need to polish it a little bit. Here comes Affinity. All right, everybody, dust off your dust to dusts. It seems like Affinities. Be funny if it's in represented more in the challenge tomorrow. I know sometimes it's like Burn. It took Burn's place. Like people come out of the woods with Burn, beat everybody, and then everybody brings in life gain, and Burn kind of hangs out a little bit. And that happened with Dust to Dust and Affinity. They kind of pumped the brakes, and now it's like seems like they're all back trying to catch people with their sideboards down. Know what I'm saying? Wow. This is just an embarrassment of riches here. Yeah, I mean, they probably, if they counter this, I'll just hold on the other, but come on, we know you got it. Everybody's packing 4. Metallic Rebuke. Isn't it funny? He used to only be played 2. It's like, it's a pretty good card. Seems to keep him in it, especially in crucial plays like this one. Cool. I guess we don't need to do this now. We'll say no. Nope. And attack. Yeah, I do want to do that now. They do have more of those. I want to be able to do it now. We'll just do it right now. You. This. Catch. Crack. Bam. It'd be funny to do a skit with that old 70s song. When you go back. Show it tap. Crack. Do it again. I forget what band or name of that. It's some construction song. I was making my brother laugh. He's in the construction business, and I used to, whenever I'd hear like those typical songs, I just call it construction music because you always hear about construction sites. I had many a jobs digging holes and such. Picking up construction sites. $5 an hour. Sure kept me in school, that's for sure. Too much respect, I'll get rid of this. We don't have dispute in hand, so I'd rather prevent 4. Steely Dan, that's it, yeah. Be funny though. And you crack back, jack, do it again. Just show it on tap. Alright, maybe I'm just the only one that would be amused by that, but... Hiya! You! This! More stuff. This is... 2 more. I got you dead to rights, baby. Booyah. All right. There's a little revenge. When the deck draws good, you can get there in enough time. Hiya, we'll do the thing here. I'll bring in some edicts. Galvanic Blast is awesome. Not sure if edicts... You know what? I think I'm not going to board. I'm going to race and we feel faster. Let's see how it feels if we just don't board. Open the yards. Thank you for that link, Little Fight. Anybody outside of America are scratching their heads going, why is he singing poorly? That's what I was trying to interpret. Oh, man. 12 damage in hand, but we are really... Unlike last game, this is a horrible hand. Oh, I'm logging this. We'll keep this. I like this one. I like the honest damage. I like the early critter. Oh, I like everything about this. That's the problem. I guess we'll get rid of chain. Done. Boop, 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 boop. Might have to throw in a mana monkey into this list here. Can always dispute it. People aren't leaning so heavily on the on indestructible lands, and with all the tokens running about, some of those flood draws, you can just start chewing things up. Hey, speaking of which, now we're in trouble. Crunch. Yowza. Let's not give them extra food, eh? I guess we attack here. There's no way he's going to trade here. Even if he does, it's good news for us. Might as well draw a card out of the deal, right? What are we discarding? Probably Dispute. I hate to do it. It's not likely. Of course, that could get us out if we draw another basic. We sack that, and then we're back in the game. Although we'd have to, use our tokens straight out. I think I lose Epicure here. All right. We're hurting now. I do like how they've captured in this art, the human ideal of like, oh, that's a treasure, don't. And it looks like he's just considering like, oh, you like this? And he's just about to just go. I'll just drop a mountain, start picking on their lands. We're losing game 2. Well, it looks like we're off to game 3. I mean, we got to get like, I don't even know, like Carnarium draw here. And even that's pretty slow rolling. All right. Monkey did its job. Let's go to game 3. Again, with the Moxes, with the Frog Mites and such, I'm not sure that it's all that great of a plan, bringing in Edict effects. It's going to play back. We've got 6 basics, the Carnariums, and the Bridge. We do run a full set of all the others, though, just because we are playing the Galvanic Blast, obviously. Let's go. Catch myself sometimes in leagues where I'm like, oh my god, that doll just was staring directly at me. I was creeping out. I catch myself sometimes, if you weren't here earlier, I got this like 200-year-old doll. I forget how many hundred years. It's a long time ago. I shouldn't be handling it so much. It's probably going to disintegrate. But sometimes I catch myself, sideboard time. Doesn't mean you have to. Sometimes your deck's just built good against others. Now I'm wanting to brew with Sanctum Gargoyle now, right, Nim Chimpskey? The problem is, with me anyway, I brew all day and then I go to play it and the first game takes like 2 hours and I'm like, all right, that's enough. But yet I could play for 12 hours if it's, a lot of interaction and things I'm actively doing, not grinding. Yeah, when I saw Vampire's Kiss come out, I was like, I don't know. Yet it's such a mainstay now. It's just so much value. It's nice. I really like where Magic's design has been in the last 2 or 3 years. Given a lot of the colors, the right options and such. Yet, Little Fight, you got to check out deck we played last week was Mono Blue Reanimator, and I played Advanced Stitch Wing. It's a very cool little card. I don't know where our opponent's at. There they are. That one just got downshifted. I want to play first, please. Okay. Mox Monkey might have a bit of a thing. We don't have any black mana. This really isn't all that good of a hand, is it? I mean, I jump at it because I see this. Let's mulligan. That's better. We'll keep this one. At least we got one that can't be messed with. We don't really have that much along the way of... I'll throw back. I want to use that on the monkey if we do see it show up. So I'll lose a temper for now. Maybe Dispute's the right play there. Really all depends on what we draw next. Hey, it's 2 Adrians battling it out. Yeah, the discard's cool, and then just end of turn a 3/4 body. It's like we saw it last week. It was really making a lot of waves. It's pretty cool. Boy, how good is a Mox Monkey at this stage, right? Just come and get it. A little dinner bell. Ding, 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 ding. We'll be pitching them early and often here. Yeah, I never heard that one, Card Breaker. Although it makes a lot of sense that I have that name because it actually means Dark One. You all know me and my fascination with Halloween. It's almost like my moniker knew what I was going to turn out like. Okay, no monkey. Still a little traumatized from last game. I just assumed our opponent would have to have it, right? Alrighty. I don't care about Galvanic Blast right now. I want to hit our mana right and get a imp out, so we'll discard the imp. Hey-yo! Play the imp. Booyah! Crunch, and see what we draw. Land, please. All right. A little frustrated, but we can loot next turn. Hopefully we'll find another one. Worst case scenario, we temper to the face. That isn't the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is Mana Monkey right now. We've got one land. We can always blast it. So I'm kind of holding that back. I do love me some Rocky movies, though. That will ruin your weekend. Shawshank Redemption's one of those. You're like, oh, that's on? It's what's frustrating is like half the time we'll have it on Netflix or something, and it's like, and we'll suffer through commercials. I don't know what it is about something when it's on TV, yet, you know, you're inconvenienced with commercials, but somehow it's somehow more desirable. It's weird. There should be a name for that. Yes, okay. I'll play this. We'll loot now. They probably got, you know what, the card we've been seeing all day, Metallic Rebuke. It just seems like they're playing 9 of them. All affinity lists. It's just that they have a blue back. Yep, here it is. Cool. Nope. Nope. But we'll just draw 2 cards now instead. How's that? Since we've seen this engine, let's see what we grab. Gotta kind of do this now. Fodder Tosser, I love you. I'm just going to bring out a blocker and some damage. And we'll attack. I love Fodder Tosser so much. You can always dispute it. Tempted the other day to make a Dark Ritual deck based on Fodder Tosser where you could just really power some stuff out quick, but I didn't do it. So there. Rewatchables podcast? I have never heard of it. I've got about 10 podcasts that I'm pretty regular on. Definitely enough to fill up my week as I walk to and from places. Usually my lunch break is listening to some podcasts. Oh, really? Rewatchables podcast. Yeah, there's quite a few of them. For all the bitching and moaning I do about Hollywood, they do get it right sometimes. Like I've always been fond of saying, like, some of my favorite movies, Amelie, Master and Commander, Far Side of the World, and Ex Machina. Those have got to be my top 3. Interstellar's pretty high. I really like that one too. Alrighty. They just disputed. They probably got another, you know what? Don't really want to play into it, but I don't want to be afraid of it the whole game either. Let's attack first, see what we do. Feels like I think we just hold here. We can Fiery Temper and Galvanic Blast, representing a whole lot of damage. Pauper Tim's in the house. Good to see ya. And that is not your eyes deceiving you. Little Fight is in chat. Joining us for the whole show. Thanks, buddy. This is the last game. Yeah, Devs was pretty good. I really, really liked parts of it. And then it felt like other writers and producers kind of did some stuff. So, all right, they're really on that. I know they've got Rebuke with that sequence. So we'll do this here. Actually, I don't know if it might be better to just dispute here. Don't really need the sack outlet all that much here. Let's dispute. Shoot while we can. Pop. Bring out that Fodder Tosser and start having some fun. Maybe I misread that and it was the blue elemental blast the whole time. Not sure. That hurts. Chew up time. This will make it a lot closer. God knows I deserve it. I've done this to so many thousands of players. You can feel the tilt from across the Aether Haze, the computer simulation. Somebody somewhere screaming loudly, no! All right, mister, do you got it or not? Let's see. Fodder Tosser, probably for the win if this hits. Shaman on you, Gorilla. We got 8 damage in our hand. Let's make it count, because if we attack, you know, they might just shoot that Fodder Tosser. I don't know if it's worthy of pitching what we've got in our hand. Oh, the Fodder Tosser, this is a tempting block, isn't it? Oh, we're doing all right. We're 50-50 right now. We beat some long-range Jun list, lost to Affinity, super close games, beat a green list, we lost to a Graveyard Recursion, life-gaining, I can't think of that again. It's not Bant, it's, can't come up with that name right now. Yeah, good math there, Nim. Yeah, the Carefree Swinewider saw some action. Took that one down, but it was a really cool build. Scary. I think at 1 life when we won that game. No, it's only 1 life. Boy, this Epicure might just get there. Oh, if they got another Rekner's Bargain, this just got very ugly. I'll bump in the night main, obviously, that does not have flashback. Be nice to draw like a Carnarium here. I'll take it. Let's roll black here. Watch them just have blasts, right? Might as well save that. Gotta be careful. They can pay for that Chain Lightning's other effect there. What a reckless move, unless they've got just 3 more of those in their hand, huh? I guess we'll just toss now. They probably have another one there. Just doing this in spite, like, you should have used it for this. They probably just have another one. That's why they're doing it. Boom, 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 boom. 5 damage. Well, they feel kind of goofy, right? Killing a 1/1 instead of a spell that... Now we just toss for the win? Don't even need the lightning. Whatever we draw, we'll just lightning and do that in case there's some scenario. No, never mind. They got Rechners, whatever. So they're at 8 life. There's a dispute to try to find it. I'm sure if they had it, they would have played it. Yeah, I'll put lightning on the stack, see what they do. But I mean, if they've got it, they're not gonna fall for that. They're gonna play it right now. There it is. Yep. Right back in it. Darn it. Frustrating. Maybe another one too. Well, let's see what we can do now. We're kind of stuck being a mana screw guy, right? Do you want to pay for that? Do we just want to shoot? I think we're just in toss mode here, right? 3 turns. There's so many cards in our opponent's hands, and we got 3, 4, 5, 6. They could kill our tosser with the monkey, so I can't lean on it too much like that. I'm not quite sure what the right line here is. 4, 6, 7. That land is really important. I think a lot of our spells cost 3, and we could play everything. I can always play it next turn. Let's see what develops here. Not at this moment. We've got a nice discard outlet and Fodder Tosser. I just think they're going to use their whole turn, hit us for 5, and kill our out. Oh, poor Shiraz. Bye-bye, Tosser. Given the density of our deck, it's such a hard play here. I think we toss if they kill it in response. So we can do 3 damage so many number of ways, but 1, 2... Yeah, we've got 3 lightning bolts left. 2, 4, 6, 7. They can still do it. Okay. Just leave it on all the time, man. That's, I swear, computers just interesting. Oh, I'm gonna tempt fate. I'm gonna do it. Boop. I can't counter this Fodder Tosser. I don't know why they're not nixing it. Maybe they've got another Rechner's Bargain. They're just gonna slow roll us. That's frustrating. I'd really like this to be a spell that does 3. No. Yeah, it would have been nice if that was just a standard lightning bolt, because then in response we might be able to pull something off, but we can't do... It doesn't... They'd still get out of it. This next turn, if we survive, it'll be there, but... Because then there'll be... The Fodder Tosser in response will actually activate. What on earth is this? Feels like we're losing here. Okay, yeah. They didn't leave. Oh, they've got a blue source. All right. That's probably the biggest thing I've seen a Gorilla Shaman take down in my life. Usually 3 feels like, you're out of range. But what a game, right? We smashed the first one. And Shaman took over the game too. Apparently Shaman's pretty good against us. Oh man, that's frustrating. I wish I knew they had Rebuke here. We just lose? Well, Affinity had our number today. We did manage to do some other ones there. Good games. That was fun. Oh, next card. Next card. Just wish I knew if they had it or not. I'm pretty sure they did. But that's Rakdos Burn for you. No secret out there. I mean, everybody's really ready for this list, but really, really cool. This is when we go to this little part of the show. Well, what I learned is that I think I want to put in one Mox Monkey, and that's about it. Not sure what I would take out for it, but it would be nice to have. The games felt better that second time without doing anything with our sideboard, so I might want to find a place for two of them. Maybe, but the second you do that, maybe replace an edict or maybe one curse, you just run into hexproof all day long, right? So anyway, welcome. So good seeing you. A little fight, if only digitally, as I'm fond of saying. And we're going to roll to something really creepy. If you just joined the show, you're going to be like, what the heck is this? But if you saw the astronaut skip, this is the Moon Cheese, baby. Shiraz, this one's for you. Hopefully your screen's back and you can see this one. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining me. Please spread the word, like, subscribe, and all that kid stuff. Adios, everybody.
She's a wolf in mouse clothing. The mouse's ghostly howl stakes claim to